Hello friends, welcome back. In the last video, I have shown you how to set up the Redis configuration and various Java classes that we will need for this video. In this video, I want us to go to the actual implementation. I have implemented a method to send OTP email. Remember, I showed you how to send HTML email, therefore it is almost similar code, but later on I will show you how to refactor this code. So this just for sending OTP email, which it contains two subject, first name, and then the OTP. All these things you know the purpose of my message helper. So we use the context to replace the thymref variables with the dynamic values. So inside our thymref templates, we have first name and we have OTP, and we want to replace them. Then we have thymref template engine for processing our templates. We also need to set this and then send the email. We are using Java mail sender interface. So if you click this interface, if you click this, you will see this is an interface. It contains the method to send my message and my message also. So can see this is called method overloading. Same methods, different parameter. So this is Java 8. You see, Java 8, we can have default methods that contains the actual implementation. So you may be asking yourself, why is it that this interface has got the method implementation? Java 8 came up with several features, one of them being introduction of default methods where you can do the actual implementation. Now, let us go ahead and create an OTP service. So new Java class, we call this OTP service. So I will annotate this with add service. Add service. I would also like to encourage you to do these things practically. You will become a better student if you do things practically. Following passively will not help you. I want you to get your hands dirty. Do these things practically. So the first thing that I will do is to get the OTP properties. These properties. These are the properties that I want us to get. So let us put them there. So the first thing is private Redis template. Redis template. Remember, we defined a bin of Redis template of type key is a string and the value is an object. Redis template. So this one we call this Redis template. You will see its use in a second. Private final Redis templates. The other thing is I will define a random because I want us to generate random OTP. Private final random is equals to new random. It is also good for you to use secure random. Remember in our last video when we were generating random password, we use secure random. Then the other thing is for us to get these properties. So I showed you we use at value. Inside that value, double quote, then you define this property, OTP.length. Okay, put it here. I am done with this OTP length. So I will say private int OTP length. Let us copy this for the rest. So that is an integer. Let us format this to beautifully looking code. The other one will be OTP expiry duration. So this one will be, want to make this to be wrong. So OTP expiry minutes. Okay. The other one is max attempts. This will be an integer. This will be an integer. I will call this max attempt. Okay. The other one will be a long for block duration. Block duration. So make sure you use long whenever you are dealing with time. So OTP dot block duration. OTP dot block duration. But I also think we need to double check something. OTP dot max attempts. If you fail to put this property as they appear, it will not be well with you. OTP dot expiry duration. OTP dot expiry duration. Then there is OTP dot block duration. Then we inject this in our constructor. We are good to go. So now I want us to go direct to creating various methods. I want us to go direct to creation of various methods. Let us start with generate OTP. Public void, not void but string. Public string generate OTP. So I will put the account string email. Why do we need our string email in this case? Because we need to check the first thing before generating OTP. Check if account is locked. If it is locked, return an error. The second thing is generate the OTP. The last thing is store OTP. Store the OTP in Redis. After generating, you store the OTP in Redis. So those are the steps. So the first thing that this is the first check if. So I will create a method called isAccount logged that will take the email address. If the account is logged, what do? Return an error. Okay, yes. So we are going to throw new custom, return new custom exemption. So in this case, I showed you how to work with API response for custom error. I have defined a variable called lblocked underscore blocked. This is inside my variables, inside my constant. I showed you how to create these constants. So instead of just one, I import all of them. So then there is error blocked message, and finally error blocked message. So if we go inside here, you can see this method, or rather this variable, error blocked. This is just a custom error code. I have given it error code 402, but you can define any custom code. But make sure you don't conflict with the HTTP status code like 404, 400, 401, 403, 500, 410, so on. So then there is this message account is blocked, try again later, invalid OTP message, invalid attempt counts. There is also account blocked message. Account is blocked due to multiple failed attempts. OTP verification, there is verification success. Then there is other errors like OTP sends successfully, account number, delete success, and so on. So let us go back and implement these methods. Is account blocked? Create this method. This is a Boolean. This is a Boolean method that I want us to look at in a minute. So basically, inside this, what are we going to do? We are going to define string block key. This is the key that Redis will check to know that this particular account is blocked. So this will contain the keyword blocked concatenated with email. Okay. So whenever we search inside the Redis and see blocked email, like blocked Albert, this will raise a flag that this account has already been blocked. String. Okay. So the other thing is return Redis template dot has key block key. So it will go to the Redis template, check whether there is a key called block key. If it is there, it will return true. Okay. So let us create one more method for blocking an account. Public void block account. This will block account after you do incorrect OTP verification for a given number of times specified in our config file. So this is also tied to user account, which is an email. So basically, we will define string block key. I will copy this block key. Then I will say Redis templates dot ops for value dot set. So I want to set block key as my key. I also want to set my value as true because this has been blocked. I also want to set the duration when this account will be locked, the duration in which you cannot be able to resend or verify the OTP for this particular account. So a user will be forced to wait for 15 minutes. Duration of minutes. So in this case, there is block duration. And we are done. Let us generate random OTP very fast. Let me create that method. Private string generate OTP. So inside this generate OTP, we are going to generate random OTP. So int max number is equals to int. So this is the maximum number of digits. So we will say math.power. So this allows us to set the power of 10, then the OTP length. So this one will generate an integer. Power of 10 means we are generating an integer of a certain length. In this case, if we define our length to be 6, it will generate a 6-digit OTP. Then int OTP value So int OTP value. Now I want us to generate the actual value. So this is random dot int random dot next int, and we put the maximum number here so that it can generate this maximum number of digits OTP. Then I want us to return a formatted, so this will be string dot format. I want to do the actual format. The first thing is to put %0. That means that if the number of digits are not 6, assume they are 4, append 2 zeros to make them 6. Then OTP length plus D for double, comma, OTP value. So this is actually doing the actual formatting. Now I have the generate OTP. Now is account locked. After checking whether the account is locked, we will now go ahead and generate our OTP. I hope you are there up to that point. So I hope you are following and you are doing things practically. So let us go back to our method for the OTP verification. We will define a string OTP is equals to generate OTP. This will generate 6 digits OTP. After generating the OTP, what do we do? So this is this step, generating the OTP. Remember, let us go through these comments very well. Generates the OTP. Now, the other one is store the OTP on the Redis. So we define by defining string key. Key is equals to OTP plus email. So OTP plus the email. So we are going to store OTP and email as a key. So this is the OTP. So this OTP, then email. So basically that means that it will be OTP at gmail.com. So this will be stored as a key. Now let us continue. Now let us save our OTP inside the Redis. So we will say Redis template dot ops for value. Ops for value is a method we use to set and store something in the Redis. Dot set. We want to set our key, then our values. So what are we going to store as our values? Remember, we created an object called OTP data. New OTP data. We created this object called OTP data, and this object OTP data contains a field OTP and the number of attempts. So we are going to initialize our attempts to 0. We are going to initialize our attempts to 0. Required type is an int, provided is a string. So OTP data, this needs to be an integer. Let us go and change this accordingly. So let us put this as a string, then come back. Now, after saving to the Redis, we are going to return the OTP. So this is the code for OTP generation. The first step is to check whether the account is locked. If the account is locked, you don't need to generate the OTP. Let the customer wait for 15 minutes or for the lock duration. So that is it for this video. In the next video, we are going to write the logic for verifying the OTP verification. So stay tuned.